This question is on question number 1, which is, in what ways does your media product use, develop or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? The purpose of trailers and previews is to advertise a film and things that will be exhibited at the cinema and at a later date. The conventions are usually that the duration only lasts about 30 to 60 seconds and is a quick paced, so you don't see that much. They try and contain as little as possible actual footage from the film, but enough to just tease audiences into wanting to watch the film, perhaps clips that haven't yet been put into the film, or the best clips that have been picked out for this use only. Horror movie trailers are designed to create the emotions of fear and horror. The plots usually involve scenes of death, the supernatural, or some kind of mental illness, and include a central villain. They are usually very fast-paced and either start with an equilibrium, pretend to audiences that they should feel comfortable at the beginning, usually on a desert island, etc., and then the clips get faster, characters begin to scream, etc., and the lighting becomes darker. When I first looked into trailers and researched them, then chose my genre to be the horror trailers that I felt really worked with these conventions and perhaps touched upon challenging them, were The Strangers, a film directed by Brian Bettorino with the actress Liv Tyler and Scott Speedman as the main characters. It is a film about a young couple staying in an isolated holiday home who are then terrorized with 3 unknown strangers. The second teaser trailer that I felt was really useful in my research was the new Nightmare on Elm Street, a film remade by director Samuel Bayer. It brings back the icon of Freddy Krueger and remakes all the sequels in one film. The reason I picked Nightmare on Elm Street as one of my research trailers that inspired me was because of the way the trailer starts with an establishing shot, and later on in the trailer it starts again with this equilibrium idea until you get to the stage where the clips pick up their pace and begin to be darker and scarier. I feel that in horror movie trailers it's a great way to make the audience feel comfortable at the start, so they are more likely to feel fearful of what's coming next. Things I did to challenge. I did a couple of things in my media product to challenge the conventions. First of all, I took this idea of an equilibrium and making the audience feel like they're safe and comfortable, and then move on to scaring them in my trailer, but due to the overall lighting of my clips, this didn't work so well. Also, just like The Strangers, I used the same idea of masks and not knowing an identity, so not showing the audiences much detail about the people, but the main concept I took from the Strangers movie trailer was that they used the Inkswatch song at the beginning and made the record player skip it, so the song then became really creepy. I researched into this song and decided to use it for my clip. This was what then conducted this idea of trailers, subverting this idea of conventionally horror songs or sounds, and from the feedback I received on my audience feedback, I feel that this was a particularly wise idea and the audiences understood I was challenging it and still felt it worked really well. I, however, took a lot of ideas from all the horror trailers I researched, but I particularly enjoyed these two and felt they were working with the kind of footage and ideas I was trying to bring across. Conventions that I used for my trailers was the idea of characters running away, but not too much because I didn't want the clips I had used to become tedious. I also kept close with the conventional pace of horror movies, although the start of my horror trailer didn't work with this, but could pick out the target audience from this use of pace and dark clips. The Strangers made me think about the surroundings and the buildings or setting I was going to use for my trailer, and this idea of something being isolated or alone and more likely to be terrorized, and so I came up with the idea of Woodchester Mansion, and this also sits in well with a real media product that always used scary settings. The last thing that I feel my trailer uses like other media products is the fact that it only lasts 40 seconds long, which is between the average 30 to 60 seconds long trailer.